Well, welcome everyone to the Power Half Hour. Every single Wednesday, we interview a top agent in North America. And today we have no other than Mr. Nabeel Gilani. Hello, sir. Thank you for coming to our show.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's having a good day so far.
Thank you, thank you. And Nabeel just came back from World Cup, his total bucket listing. First of all, I guess what was that like? What was that experience like?
Oh, yeah, definitely incredible experience. For me, I grew up playing soccer since I was like, a kid. Like I probably would say I learned how to dribble before walking. Um, so for
Wow.
me, it's just been amazing to actually go and, watch a sport that I love and truly an experience of a lifetime.
That is amazing. And guys, Nabil is a very busy realtor, and he found time to pursue his bucket list, his passion, and you can too. We work, right, to live our life. We don't live to work. So congratulations on making that happen for yourself. So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Nabil. How did you get started in real estate?
So yeah, I mean, I still consider myself a pretty young guy, but I feel like I got into the industry pretty early. So I got licensed right out of high school, 19 years old. I struggled to find a career that I enjoyed, and so at that point, real estate for me, there was a couple different factors that uh, you know grasped me to the industry. And I think the first one is I love people. I find that I can connect with people from all various different backgrounds. The second thing was just having the freedom of your own job, your own lifestyle. The sky is the limit. If you want to go and make a few million bucks a year, you can, as we all know. And if you want to
Hmm.
just also kind of have a really good balanced life as well, you can do that. So there's a lot of things that stood out to me, and so I just went and got licensed, and I jumped right into it.
That's awesome, man. So how many years now in real estate?
It's been 7 years now.
7 years, man. So you're
Yeah,
still a really, really young guy at 26 years old, but ton of
yeah,
experience now
yeah.
at in real estate here. And when you started, because I hear this all the time because a lot of younger agents are joining the real estate business these days. I don't have any people who want to buy or sell. What do you say to that?
Oh, you know what? You got to go and find those people. They're just not going to call you. They're not going to trust you. Um, I had family and friends who I'd spoken to before getting my license, and they're like, don't worry, when you get your license, I'll buy from you. And I got my license, and uh, and they just didn't trust me. And so you're gonna get that. It's almost as if I always tell people the people want to work with you when you're too busy for them. If that makes sense. It's kind of weird, but that's kind
Mm,
of it's kind of the mentality when I got into the industry. It's like you almost have to go find other clients, and then those people are going to realize that, hey, Nabil's too busy for me now. He doesn't need my business, and now I kind of want to work with him, right? It's weird how it
isn't
works,
that
but
crazy?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah. So I
You
found I
know,
found that.
yeah. So sorry, go ahead. There's a bit of a lag.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, no, I found that it's a very interesting dynamic, but that's just the reality of the situation, right? And you can't let that bother you or get to you. You just have to kind of, as you know, you just kind of gotta learn from it and keep moving forward, right?
Absolutely. And as a young agent, I think that is the mentality, and that is what we experience. Even when I started, I started at 26, how old you are right now, and I still was getting those types of thoughts from my family and friends. Right? They didn't trust me because I was a young kid. So I really had to prove myself, so to speak. And one of my mentors, Daryl Rutherford, he said, if you need it, you can't have it. And when you don't need it, you can have all that you want. And I think that applies to what we're talking about right now. So if you didn't get business from your family and friends, where did you get your business from?
Good question, John. So for me, I found the number one thing that helped me was open houses. So every
Mm,
Saturday and Sunday, I would just feed off a couple agents. I started off at Remax. Um, I did join a mentor. I highly recommend any new agents getting into the business. Just learn from a mentor. Like, don't, even if you're not going to get paid anything, just because the money is, the experience you're going to get is invaluable. For me, the
mm.
experience I got was like getting a paycheck, so I did open houses every Saturday and Sunday, and then it was only a matter of time that um, you know, a client walked in, they were looking for something, and boom, and then that client, fast forward, is actually still a client today, 7 years later. It's crazy how that works, right? So I've actually done like maybe 5 or 6 transactions with them so far. Um, but so that's kind of what I did. I just did open houses. Um, and that's how I got my business going.
That's it. It sounds so simple, and agents these days ask me, "Where are you getting your business? Who should I call?" I'm like, "Do open houses." "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, really. Go do all the open houses you can. If you don't have listings, call someone in your brokerage who has listings and just do them.
Yeah,
Just do them." And that client today is still a client, right?
yeah,
And you just put in the work and you didn't beg your family and friends. They wouldn't give you business anyways, guys. It's as simple as that. Going out there and putting in the work. So how long did it take from when you got started at 19 years old? How long did it take for you to get your first transaction as a 19-year-old?
so it took me for my first, I think it was my first 8 months, I didn't do a deal. Um, it kind of sucked because I almost at that point, like, I was already in a deficit in my business, with all the fees you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was already losing money. So I'm like, okay, gosh, at that point, I'm like, I need to get a deal done. So I got lucky, but I also, it just worked out. So I met that client, and I did a deal after 8 months. And then my second year, I managed to do another about 2 or 3 deals. So it wasn't much, but it kept me going. Um, at that point, like, I had reached 3 years in the business, and I was still just breaking even. If you're looking at the numbers, and then
Mm,
my fourth year was when it, finally started to kind of become a real profitable business. Um, but really,
mm.
the first 3 years was just like, uh, it was just a lot of learning, and it didn't really feel like like I didn't feel like a realtor, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah. You
it's
know
kind of
what? A lot of days I feel like I'm not a realtor. When you're
even
not
yeah,
taking listings or you're like, oh, wait a minute, nothing's going
yeah.
on. You don't feel like a realtor. You're like, well, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah,
Like, geez, Nabeel, kudos to you because 8 months without deals, most people would have quit.
yeah.
Right? And then even in second year, you did 2 to 3, and then it was just a little bit, little bit, little bit. Guys, it took 4 years for Nabeel to be profitable as a realtor. 4 years. The main question I have right now is why didn't you quit?
Well, that's a good question, John. Because to be honest, it did occur. Like, I'm not getting with you every day in my mind. I'm like, you know what? Like, is this the right career for me? Am I doing things right? I had a lot of, we all had struggle, right? So for me, I've always been a key um, attribute that I've always lived by is patience. You got to be patient in whatever you do. Like, you can't, as much as I want to be a $1 million agent one day in my career, that's the goal. I just know it's not going to come overnight. It's if it came to me overnight, it's not worth it, and it's everyone would be $1 million agent, right? So for me, I've just always had that patient mentality where you gotta be patient, you gotta put in the work, and you gotta fall in love with the journey, right? So that's why I didn't quit. I
Oh,
always told myself that you gotta keep going, right?
wow. Hey guys, if you're going through a tough time right now, tell yourself you have to keep going. And you gotta love the journey. It isn't really about the money or the results. If you don't enjoy the journey, the money won't come if you don't enjoy the journey.
Exactly.
4 years, guys, to become profitable as a realtor. Can you imagine what was going on in Nabil's head? Man, kudos to you for not quitting. And guys, patience, patience. And a Latin root word is potentai. This is what my other mentors taught me is suffering. So Nabeel suffered for 4 years, guys. How long have you suffered before you'll quit? Nabeel never quit, and he's still here today, right? So big congratulations. I didn't know about your story. That's absolutely
Oh, thank you,
inspiring, and
John.
I think really, really inspiring to a lot of young agents today because we're in that market right now. If you just got in, it's not easy. It's not like the dream market of 2020, 2021. So as a younger agent, what advice do you have for people just like yourself, 19, 20, 21, and they're going through that grind right now, not making any money? What advice do you have for those agents?
Um, it's a good question. I think the advice that I have is you gotta, if the deals are not going to come right away, you need to enable yourself to learn and grow because at the end of the day, you are your business. So you have to you got to learn every day and you need to grow and be better every day. So whether it's, sitting down in front of the laptop, I kid you not, and just learning the market, what's selling in what
Wow.
areas, just product knowledge, understanding the markets, from not just a local standpoint, but from even worldwide, like just to know what's going on. And so and you're going to thank
Mm.
yourself because you'll have a conversation in the future with a client and you're just going to wow them, or you'll be at an open house and you'll be able to speak with confidence. And I think that will help you get those clients, and it'll just help you be confident, right? Like once you get to that point of when you kind of know everything and you're confident, that's going to help you grow. So my advice is just to keep learning. Don't stop learning. As soon as you stop learning, that's when you're gonna you're just doing yourself a disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, you got to keep learning, especially the younger agents. Obviously, don't read the news too much, but you need to know what's going on in the world to be able to advise your clients whether or not this is a good time to buy or sell. What are the market stats like? Really know your product. Really know what the market is doing, what's selling, what's not selling, right? So when you're at the open house, because you're doing open house anyway, Saturday, Sunday, two open houses a day, you need to have those educated conversations, and that's when you get an opportunity to earn a client. Right? So that's what Nabeel did as a younger agent, right? And that's how he's successful today. Patience, right? Keep learning and keep grinding. 4 years. I want to reiterate again. 4 years to become profitable, right? Nabeel, when did you get into this? Is switching gears now. When did you get into luxury real estate for yourself?
So I switched brokerages and I found myself into the luxury segment. I now have a business partner and a colleague who I'm sure you've also heard of. So she's very into the luxury game, and so this was a change in my career. I got this opportunity to, leave my mentor at that time and join this team. And this is another thing that I want to reiterate is, you've got to, if you want to grow, you've got to also change, right? Like what you can't, as soon as
Yeah.
you find yourself making a change and you're scared, if you have fear of making that change, that's the right choice for you. You got to do it. So
Mm,
I was scared. I felt like I was jumping into the end of a swimming pool, and I was like drowning.
yeah.
But I did it, and so I found myself joining like a team that, we went from doing maybe, I don't know, 10 to 20 deals to now doing like almost like at that point, like maybe 75 to 100 deals. So it was a big change, a lot more fast pace, different product,
Yeah.
luxury. So I was starting to learn about the luxury game now. So that's kind of what happened. Um, but it was awesome. I learned, so much every day. And then I got to a point where I was very confident and also just doing these deals by myself. So I joined that luxury team, and then we had worked together for about a few years, like maybe 3 years, doing mostly luxury.
Mm. Out in the West North Shore, West Vancouver,
North
North
Shore,
Vancouver.
yeah, yeah, North Shore. So North
Okay.
Vancouver and West Vancouver.
Yeah. So as a younger agent, 4 years in the business, then you jumped into luxury. So if you want to learn about luxury, join a luxury team. It's okay, right? And learn from there. What I'm getting from you is always have had a mentor. Even when you had a mentor, it doesn't mean that everything is fine and dandy, all is well and easy. That does not mean that. It means that you still need to put in the grind. You still need to be patient. All at the same time, having someone guiding you, right?
Yeah.
So years and years of now, 3 years of luxury, as we all know now that you switch to EXP, I get a lot of questions about this. Like, EXP does not, luxury does not exist at EXP. What do you say to that?
Um, I've heard it too, and my perception on this is, and I'll be really honest, John. I don't know if I'm allowed to be this honest, but nowadays it all comes down to you. So if you want to call yourself a luxury agent, you're a luxury agent. I mean, if you feel like you have the knowledge and the mindset and the marketing background and whatever it takes to sell luxury, then you can do it. So it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. Like people might say, hey, EXP is
Mm.
not luxury, but that doesn't mean that you can't sell luxury. So what, right? So that's kind of what I've practiced and what I've gone by. So, um, and I understand luxury is a different game, but to be honest with you guys, it's really not. It's the same whether you're selling a 300,000 dollar condo or a $20 million waterfront house. It's the same. It's still a transaction. There's still going to be emotions running. I understand it might take a little bit more extra care and detail for the mansion, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. So
I love how you're so matter of fact and so stoic about everything. It's actually very inspiring, and no problem, guys. It's just luxury. It's the same. It is from, let's say, 300,000 to 3 million to like 30 million. It is a little different, but Nabil just got himself involved with a team to learn, and then once he stepped into that luxury agent identity, then he was like, you know what? I am a luxury agent. Doesn't matter what company. But I want to ask you this: how do you become worthy for a luxury listing?
so this will kind of go opposite of what I said before, John. So it is the same, but I will be
Okay.
honest. It's luxury is not for everyone. Okay, so you have
Mm,
to make a
okay.
decision.
Thank you.
Y- Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
got you got to make a decision whether or not you want to be a luxury agent, and I think it takes a lot of effort and going that extra mile. So for some of our luxury properties, your photo shoots, your video shoots, you might spend like till 2, 3 in the morning, countless nights at the
Mm,
property doing the shoots. Um, even to a point where when you have certain clientele, you're checking up on their property on a daily, weekly basis, so really having to manage your client's property, uh, you know, going there to shut down every day, like, some showings could take maybe 3 or 4 or 5 hours for one showing, turning on all the lights, the house, like, so that might not be for everyone, right? Like you might not want to spend 3 or 4 hours doing a showing and guess what? After the showing, they'll call you and say, I'm sorry, my client's not into the house. So it's like, oh, I don't get my 4 or 5 hours back. But so that's the thing. Luxury isn't for everyone, you know?
I really appreciate you being honest about that and the work and the time that you put in. And I believe that no effort is wasted, no time is wasted in real estate. Everything that we do is going towards one word, an experience. You are now more experienced than you were. That
Yeah.
time is not wasted, right? So, with that being said, do you feel like it is a lot harder to sell luxury real estate?
A lot harder. Um, I don't think so now because like you said, I've got the experience now and uh from every showing, every listing appointment, whether it's gone successful or not, I've still taken that experience into my next uh into my next appointment or next showing. So everything you learn from everything, and that makes you a better agent. It just makes you more experienced. If you've gone into a listing appointment and it didn't necessarily go well, you kind of know how to adapt and how to change things. So it's always about using your past experiences to just keep getting better.
Wow. Keep getting better, keep learning through those experiences. The 5 hours that you were there were not wasted. You learned, which you can take to the next client and the next client and the next client. What I'm hearing right now is it's just it takes a lot more time. It takes a little bit more effort, right? It's just again a lot of patience with luxury real estate. And this is a matter of fact, but you have to choose to become a luxury agent, right? And he said this very honest is that it's not for everyone. It's not for
Yep.
everyone, but if you decide to, you can do it. Just like anything else, if you decide to, then anything is possible, right? Yeah. So Nabil, with the interest rates going up today, 50 basis points,
Saw that. Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that? How will that affect the market, do you think, here in Greater Vancouver?
Um, you know what? I think it was bound to happen. Um, and I always tell a lot of my clients that at the end of the day, like, it's healthy for markets. I mean, we've always had good years in our real estate market in Vancouver. But it's sustainable for the market for this to happen. Um, and so I think, we will see, as we've continued to see, we'll always see buyers a bit skeptical, obviously tightening the margins. Buyers will always be skeptical on buying, and you'll always see a lot of buyers waiting for that right time to time the market, but we all know that that's not realistic.
Mm,
So I think,
yeah.
what I've always said is, in my opinion, I still think Vancouver is one of the best places to live in the world. We still have a supply and demand issue, land is scarce, inventory. So I think that it will be a little bit soft for the next couple of months, but just with where we're going into the future, I think that we will rebound. I don't see crazy 30% increases anymore like we did in the
Mhm.
past, but I still think
Yeah.
Vancouver will still always continue to grow a little bit. So that's kind of my perception, and it's going to be interesting to see. I know there's no subject free offers right now anymore. I read that the other day, right? There's going to be like a 3 day rescission period, so that's going to be interesting. Lots of different factors from when I started to now. It's crazy how much has changed. So
Yeah, foreign buyer ban in
yeah,
time come January, rescission period, all these changes that the
yeah,
government's trying to implement to kind of simmer the market. And I
hmm
think it has worked. Even with the news of it, it has simmered down the market, right? But what we know for sure is that 2023 we have 450,000 people moving into BC, 2024 465,000, and 2025 another 500,000 people moving into BC, and we have lack of inventory and land is scarce, just like you said. So I think the future is bright. A little bit off topic, but coming back to you, Nabil, what do you think your 5 year vision looks like? What would you like to do?
it's a good question. For me, I think I'm content. I'm not happy, but I'm content with what I've achieved so far. I've always been someone that's been very hard on myself in terms of getting to where I want to get, but I think that's a good quality to have. You can never be. Uh, I mean, you can be, but you also need to keep growing and getting better every day. But I'm content with what I've achieved so far. But I think for me, the next 5 years are going to be really important. So for me, it's about getting to that next level, and I feel like I haven't attained my freedom yet. So even though I did go to the World Cup, I still found that I haven't reached that point of freedom. So for me, I
Mm,
want to keep the team going. I'm part of a team now of a few agents, so keep the team going. And uh, if I could, this is bold, but I want to quadruple business in 5 years. So if we could keep doubling, and then maybe go like a quadruple in 5 years, I think that would be the goal. So right now, at least to get about a 500,000 in sales by by 5 years would be
Wow.
the goal.
I love it. I love it, man. That's absolutely inspiring. You again, it's so matter of fact. I like to quadruple. People when they say quadruple, they're like quadruple my business. You're never too high, never too low. Very stoic. I love that about you. And what you said was really, really good, Nabeel. You're content, but I'm not happy. Right? You're content, yet you're ambitious. You're hungry to grow, but you're content with what you have now. I think that's the greatest quality a real estate agent should have is gratitude for what you already have. So you have that. Um, I guess another question for you is, and how do you keep your emotions so in between the lines and so stoic all the time? Doesn't seem like you get too emotional.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for me, it's just, I think there's a couple things that have always kept me like that, and it's kind of where my roots, where I've come from. I've always tried to be a person of integrity, just be humble, and like there's so much happening around the world, which we all know of, and so the fact that I live in Vancouver and I get to do what I love and sell real estate, I can't ask for much more. Um, so it's
Mm,
just that and yeah, just being passionate about what I do. So just thoroughly happy that I found a career that I love and I enjoy and it can give me what I want. Um, so that's just what it comes from. It doesn't need to be as hard as people claim it to be. You know what I mean? It's like it's simple if you really think about it.
yeah, it really is. Real estate is simple, we always say, but it's not easy. And you know what? You're so grateful for what you have as a profession here in real estate, the opportunity that it provides us. I think gratitude is huge, and you just keep going. You don't stop, and you keep learning, and you keep growing, and you keep your head down. And being a man of integrity, I think that's really, really good quality as well for real estate agents. So, man, I'm just blown away and inspired by who you are, Nabeel. Thank you so much for being here today. One last piece of wisdom for us to take into 2023, what would it be, Nabil?
I'm gonna go into the integrity part. Um, for any new agents, that are listening, and you might have, and I will tell you, we've all had clients. Uh, you'll have a client who wants to buy a specific piece of property, or whatever it may be, but genuinely inside, you might not feel it's right for them, and you can get a deal done. You can get your paycheck. You know, but don't do it. Just wait. And I guarantee you a better deal will come around and they're going to be happier. So it's just a matter of
Ooh,
putting your clients first. Putting your clients first. That's the 2023. Putting your clients first. Yeah.
putting your clients first. And from the great Russell Peters, be a man, do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing, guys. Nabil, how do we reach out to you? How do we join your team?
I mean, I'm pretty, what's it called? Active on Instagram. So Nabeel Gilani is my Instagram. If you could just, shoot me a follow and reach out, I'm always happy to help. And uh, yeah.
Guys, follow Nabil for his journey, and if you want to buy or sell with him in the North Shore, he's your guy. Guys, what a phenomenal guy. Thank you for being here today, Nabil, for your contribution, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 2023. All the best to you. Thank you,
Thanks so
sir.
much, Sean. Keep becoming. Keep continuing to be a beast, as you always are.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
All the best,
Take
man.
care, guys. Have a good day.
Cheers.
Thank you. You too.
Bye bye.